Hey, I'm Rickard. Thanks for dropping in. Today I'd like to talk about one of my favourite game franchises, and that is Animal Crossing. Growing up, I had no exposure to Animal Crossing at all. I don't remember at what age I first heard about the franchise. I think the first time I must have passively known about it and seen it exist would have been at the back of one of those little advert booklets in the DS game cases where they always advertise what game releases have either recently come out or bestsellers or upcoming, and they have like the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks and Animal Crossing Wild Worlds. That's probably where I saw the name Animal Crossing for the first time, but I never had a GameCube growing up. I didn't have my own Wii growing up. I did have a DS, but I only ever had like 2 games for it. Yep, depressing, I know. I never had Animal Crossing. Fast forward to 2020, and this is in the lead up to lockdown, but not lockdown itself. So I'd been and ahhing with the idea throughout like late 2018 leading into 2019. Sorry, that's wrong. Late 2019 leading into 2020 of getting my own Nintendo Switch, and I finally decided to bite the bullet and go for one. Ended up with a turquoise Switch Lite, and I picked out 3 games. Pokemon Sword, a game that was trash, Octopath Traveler, which I sold very quickly, and the other one, which hadn't come out yet, but I pre-ordered it and was watching videos of gameplay obsessively and was falling in love with it before I'd even played it, was Animal Crossing New Horizons. I remember getting this to the post on release day. I'd only had my Switch, I think I'd only had my Switch a day at that point, so this came out on the 20th of March. My Switch came in the post on the 19th, and I'd been playing Pokemon Sword all that day. And then this comes in the post the very next day. And I just fell in love with it straight away. I remember that first experience of the screen with the airport, and you choose your island for the first time, and then you arrive. And then I arrived with I'll put some screenshots out of this video. I arrived with the NPCs, Louis the gorilla, and I can't remember what the horse is called. Oh dear. Oh well. Just having the freedom to explore this little world paradise helped me with my own mental well-being and where I was at in life at that time anyway. Lockdown kicking in not long after that, mid-days or a week or so later, just further rammed home how important that game was. But that first day I played it for a good 2 or 3 hours, exploring, gathering materials, really enjoying the living in the tent life. And that carried on for some time, getting around and exploring and building up to your house. And I remember I was so overzealous with getting everything needed for the museum. Tom Nook said something like, or was it Blathers? I don't remember. I think it was Tom Nook. He says something like, wow, you've done everything in one day, I didn't expect that. I was just that ravenous for this relaxing, enjoyable gameplay. I just dove straight into it, fell head over heels into this cozy game experience, and just how nice it was. It was very peaceful, nice, relaxing music, very nice art style. Everything about Animal Crossing quickly became associated in my mind with a relaxing, pleasant, inviting experience. And as I progressed through the game over weeks and months, different gameplay mechanics unlocking to me, from being able to catch insects with the net and going fishing, to raising land and lowering land, using the vaulting pole, building bridges, different shops opening, the different travellers and visitors coming to the land, being able to fly to other mystery islands and decorating my own house and my character, getting to know the new residents as they appeared and doing little quests and odd jobs for them, and really personalising your island and experience, and it feeling like a nice little virtual friendly world space to visit and get immersed with. It was really nice. I genuinely very much enjoyed getting used to it and getting to know those characters, and soon racked up several tens of hours of gameplay over the course of from 2020 and onwards. I was really happy with the support the game got with updates, and it was great to see it get a big update fairly recently as well. And all the new things they added, like adding the coffee shop, expanding the museum, and the big expansion pack, Happy Home Paradise, which I absolutely adored. And I remember I had a lot of fun designing like the hospital and school and whatever else you had to design. Am I thinking of the 3DS one when I say that? I feel like I'm getting confused. Pretty sure you just design houses in Happy Home Paradise. Probably getting confused with Happy Home Designer. Don't mind me. Either way, designing people's homes due to a set theme was really good, and doing all the interior design stuff was really cool. It felt like a nice progression of being the resident representative as you are in the main Animal Crossing New Horizons storyline. And yeah, just crafting items, all the limited time festivals and seasons. The fact it has different items pertaining to different nationalities and different regions, holidays, whether it be Japan, Brazil, China, America, Britain, Spain. It celebrates and includes all sorts of different seasons and ideas, which is really cool, with all its different items and outfits. And I remember that year I was on the game when it does the adorable little New Year's countdown, and watching all these little virtual cute little animal characters count down to New Year while I was playing it. I was in the room with my family, and it was just a very adorable little dorky nerdy moment. I never tuned in for New Year's Day after that point in Animal Crossing. I don't really care about New Year's in general, full stop, but there was just something very whimsical about seeing these little virtual animal characters celebrate it. It's one of those things that you look at it and think, you know, that's one of the good things of humanity. We do a lot of bad as a species, but just nice, charming, friendly, kind, little cozy experiences like that. Something just nice, like Animal Crossing. It's a special thing to have, and the connectedness and the comfort it brings people, I think, is a really cool thing. And I as I mentioned, I played Happy Home Designer as well. So after initially falling in love with New Horizons, I briefly tried New Leaf, very briefly, but I was still, it was such a similar experience to New Horizons. I didn't really get into it at that time, a few years ago. But I devoured Happy Home Paradise, Happy Home Designer, and completed that. Did everything pretty much I possibly could do. So when Happy Home Paradise, the expansion pack, came out for New Horizons, it was basically Happy Home Designer 2. It was like an expansion pack for the Animal Crossing I fell in love with, but also a sequel to the 3DS game I'd come to love, and both of them merging, which was fantastic. And I think it was definitely the right idea to do it as an expansion pack instead of a standalone game, because it further bolstered the strength of the main game. I haven't played Animal Crossing Let's All Go to the City on the Wii. I haven't played Wild World either. However, I did end up emulating when I was in uni, the first one, and I had fun with it. Some key memories from that game: I accidentally took off my shop uniform mid-shift, and Tom Nook absolutely laid into me and screamed at me and basically threatened me because he's a scary tanuki. And I remember I accidentally clicked the wrong button on my keyboard and the game reset, and I'm sure many of you know what happens if you reset the older Animal Crossing games. This very angry mole called Resetty comes out and absolutely bollocks you, and I was quite scared for my life, and I didn't dare do that again. Fast forward a few more years, well, to last year, 2025, and I traded in a load of rubbish to get this for only 20p in the end. The original Animal Crossing for the GameCube. So I now own a proper physical copy. I only played bits and pieces of that emulated playthrough years ago, but I'm a lot more invested. Not that I've touched it in a fair while now, but the amount of games I have, I get distracted. but I haven't been able to play my New Horizons playthrough for several years now because I upgraded from my Switch Lite to a proper Switch in late 2023. So for the past 3 or so years I haven't touched my New Horizons playthrough. When I eventually get a Switch 2, I'm going to port my playthrough onto the Switch 2 because I know you can do that. And finally, my playthrough won't be bound to the shackles of my decrepit and irrelevant Switch Lite that I don't have any use for anymore. The only reason I still even have that Switch Lite is for old save data, but to be honest, I think it's too long on the tooth to even bother selling now. I wouldn't get much money for it, so I'll probably just keep it as a spare or whatever. But the original GameCube version of Animal Crossing, sorry, incorrect, the original Nintendo 64 Animal Crossing that was enhanced on the GameCube is what I should have said, because it wasn't original to the GameCube. Pedantry is something I'm great at. However, Animal Crossing on the GameCube is a really good game. It's certainly you could say a more primitive, a slightly more streamlined experience. It has many differences. It has, first game or first weirdness where there's things that are in place that you don't see later on, or you've come in, especially from New Horizons to that older game, there's things that are maybe slightly more convoluted, slightly more archaic. However, three things are still identical no matter what Animal Crossing you play. The characters are all adorable and full of charm. The music is absolutely fantastic. The art style is always beautiful. Just look at the front of this game and just look at the art style. Does it even look different? Like, they perfected the art style on the Nintendo 64 and then all the way to the Switch. It has a higher polygon count, but it's still absolutely the same style. Like, that is just striking gold, isn't it? It's absolute perfection. What a timeless art style they nailed on the head as far back as Nintendo 64, and it's persisted and pervaded right through the generations of consoles, because it's just that functional and stylish and artistic, and it just looks lovely. It just oozes the charm and the vibrance, and the characters just from their appearances, they ooze personality. And it's all these different components from the characters' dialogue, when they're being snarky, rude, kind, funny, silly, quirky, annoying, whatever it may be, merged and blended so beautifully with the fantastic soundtracks and the fluidity of the gameplay, the collectathon type nature of getting the insects, artwork, fish, the relaxedness of exploring the island at your own pace, the changing seasons, the different festivals and activities, the rising and falling of the sun, the random encounters you'll have, the different environments, the fact that the weather can, that it can snow, having your own home you can decorate and expand, being able to shape and craft things around you, going shopping and going on little mini adventures and whatever else you may do. It all weaves into this lovely virtual world space, and it's done with such brilliance. And I say it's one of my favourite franchises. I have many, several dozen favourite franchises. So as of this moment in time, it's been many months since I've actually played Animal Crossing. But that's irrelevant, because it still holds such a place in my heart. And I know if I did boot up Animal Crossing right now on my GameCube, because that's the one I'm currently playing, I refuse to go back to the other one until I get Switch 2. I am petty. I know I'll have a great time just booting up Animal Crossing and hearing that music and just moving my character around. I know I'll be able to sink half an hour to an hour of just relaxing, low effort, low stress gameplay. If I build up something like Doom the Dark Ages or Borderlands 4, games I've been playing lately, even for some fast shooting and exploration and boss fights and bloodshed and thinking on your feet and adrenaline, like nearly dead, quick, heal, run away, and blah blah blah. Or all the car chases and fast action and martial arts I've been doing in Sleeping Dogs on my second playthrough of that recently, but I just finished yesterday. You don't get that with Animal Crossing. It's just a nice, cosy, fun. Well, okay, games are fun in general, but it's just a relaxing, it's like an unwind game, like a relax with a nice warm drink, or maybe sleepily start your day at the weekend too, or a nice little filler game to play on a commute, or it could be something you sit in front of the TV and sink several hours to. It's such a multifaceted game, and it's perfect for pretty much any situation because of its very friendly to the consumer pick up and play nature. So Animal Crossing is a fantastic franchise. I think it's absolutely one of Nintendo's best, and as I say, I did not grow up with it at all. I wasn't even aware of it as a kid. I know it has exploded somewhat more or at least it was in more mainstream light because of the whole effect of lockdown drawing people into the home, and that led a lot of people to discover Animal Crossing through New Horizons. I was just at the tip of the curve of people who just happened to find it because I was exploring getting a Switch and looking at new releases just before lockdown, just before that whole, the Switch prices went up and everyone was talking about Animal Crossing. In the lead up to it being released, it just caught my eye as something different. I thought, why not take a chance with that? And then I thought it was lovely that the rest of the world followed suit, and it was something that everyone seems to be falling in love with, and it's fantastic. It brought a lot of people so much comfort and joy and happiness in that difficult period. And I very much await the next entry, which will hopefully be maybe early mid next year at the latest, because it's been just over 6 years since New Horizons came out now, which feels crazy to say out loud, but it's still absolutely one of my favourite top 3 Switch games ever, and as a Nintendo franchise, one of my favourite franchises they've ever done as well, along with Fire Emblem and Pokemon. So I highly recommend you check out any Animal Crossing game if you've got the means, the time and the money. But I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully you've learned something, and if you've learned nothing because you're a way bigger fan of Animal Crossing than I am, then I hope you've at least appreciated my insight and my own personal journey with the franchise. But thank you very much for watching. I've had a lot of fun with talking to you today, and I will see you guys in the next video. So bye for now.